Hey, good afternoon or good evening back in Alpine as we're about to get started and get underway with Alpine Fighting Buck basketball. Their second to last district game of the season on the road up here in Anthony. An Anthony team that they beat by 7 back at home. An Anthony team with just 2 wins on the year. The Bucks will look to bounce back and really have a more dominant performance this time around against Anthony. I think they are the better team, and it's a team that's looking to build momentum heading into the playoffs as they will secure a 2 seed with a win against Kermit. Maybe have secured the 2 seed already. No, I think if we lost against Kermit on Friday, there would be a seeding game to try and battle for the 2 seed. So still that 2 seed up for grabs, really a must-win ball game for Alpine. And a game, again, that they should win, and that really the name of the game and the story for the Bucks is building momentum heading into the playoffs. And I think that's important for any team, especially this team this year, as they're about to get underway and are trying to find that rhythm at the right time. That's what they say about good teams really in any sport. They say it a lot in baseball is you don't want to be good overall, you want to be good at the right time. They say that in basketball too, and that's what the University of Florida did on their way to a national title last year out of the SEC. And again, the Bucks, this would be about the best time in the world to get hot as they have that ball game against Kermit, which won't be a slouch back in Alpine, and want to get it started off on the right foot today here in Anthony, Texas, before the bi-district championship round comes. Not early next week, but early the week after next. So Coach Hardwick and the Bucks in purple and gold here on the road as we're about to get underway. And they're about to announce the starting lineups. We'll send it to a quick commercial break. Fighting Buck basketball here when we return.
Here to explore Big Bend, cheer on the Lobos, or just watch the West Texas sunset, Hampton Inn and Alpine is your home away from home. Wake up refreshed in a cozy bed. Enjoy our hot breakfast, always free. Just minutes from Sul Ross State University in downtown Alpine, we put comfort and convenience on the map. Hampton Inn and Alpine, where West Texas hospitality meets Hilton comfort. Book today at hampton.com.
At Maverick Bank, we don't just bank, we break the mold. Bold, independent, and built for Texas. We make decisions locally with your goals in mind. Whether you're growing a business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help you move forward. Visit www.maverick.bank or stop by your nearest location in Alpine, Fort Davis, or Presidio. Maverick Bank, legacy-driven, future-focused. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Enjoy the familiar comforts of Holiday Inn Express as you explore the mysterious beauties of West Texas. We offer spacious rooms with large bathrooms, complimentary breakfast that will spoil your taste buds, free Wi-Fi, fitness center, indoor pool, and even electric vehicle charging. Holiday Inn Express, your oasis in the desert in Alpine, Texas, 2004 East Highway 90. Call 432-837-9597.
Man, a little bit of that New Mexico weirdness has bled over from the border as there's more frosted tips per capita for these two Anthony basketball teams, the JV boys and this boys team, than I've ever seen. As they'll lob it, backdoor cut Kelton, and his lay-in on the lob is off the mark. That's that play they go to early on, man. If we can get it connected and get the dunk early, we'll really grab momentum as they lose the ball into the hands of Day. Day and Tay, 2-on-1. A handoff back to Tay from Day as they get it up and in. 2-0 Alpine early on. Couple of good-looking sets despite coming away empty-handed on the first one. That turnover gave him an easy look, and now Tay with the active hands in the 6'3" frame gets across and bats that pass towards the Alpine Fighting Buck bench. There's 9 total players on the Anthony roster. Bucks have 10 dressed out today. Bucks had the numbers advantage on the JV team as well, as that's through the hands of Nathan. Day takes it up the floor, misses the lay-in on the front side. One he'd want back there is Anthony has it. They give it to Nathan. No, that's the other big on the baseline, and he steps out on the baseline as Anthony's sped up right now. They've turned it over 3 total times here in the first minute of the ballgame. Bucks not really capitalizing early, just a 2-0 lead. Here's Kelton. Cross to Tay in the corner. He's doubled, and the timeline outlets to Day. Day scans the floor, swings to Isaiah. Isaiah splits a double team. Now it's Day driving, faking the pass. Corner look for Kelton Tarrant is too long. Day with the rebound. Lobs inside to Tay. It's tipped out off of Anthony and off of number 11, Nelson Savalos. On the floor starting is Matt Guerrero, Nelson Savalos, Gabriel Chacon, Elijah Halias, and Nathan Ariazola as the Bucks get it up and in to make it 4-0. Nathan Ariazola was that center that I liked last time around. Just a big kid, probably an offensive lineman on Anthony football, but a smart outlet on the floor, creates space, and stands in the right spot. That time he was standing up at the elbow, allowing his guard time to drive, and the Bucks block it after the interior move, but still get to the inside. It's easy look in transition for Kelton Tarrant. They get it right up to him on the inside, and he has that easy lay to make it 6-0 Alpine at the 6:09 minute mark. Good start for Alpine. Again, I want us to pull away here and pull away early after a back-and-forth affair against Anthony last time around in a 10-point win back in Alpine. It's time for the Bucks to start capturing the momentum heading into a playoff series coming up, and not this week, not next week, but the week after. The Lady Bucks, their playoff date is announced against Stanton, so they'll play Stanton on Monday of next week. And Stanton headlined by the Sul Ross State commit Coley Madison, a center who had our number last year as the Lady Bucks were beat in the bi-district championship round in a close back-and-forth ball game against Stanton. 6-0. Here's Anthony bringing up the floor. Anthony struggles to get it past the timeline and past Isaiah Jimenez with Clegg Folks, Day Hardwick, and Kelton Tarrant on the floor. There's a whistle and a foul that'll be on the floor against Alpine in the first of the ball game. Inbound pass from the baseline as Anthony lines up. No, they'll stagger on the inbound look, trying to get it an inside look for Nathan. No space there, and they have to lob it over the top. Anthony now from the key. Again, no shot clock, of course, at the high school level, and plenty of time to think about it. Guard prodding, Isaiah not giving any space. They go up, blocked by Kelton. Offensive rebound, pump fake, and a travel on Anthony. He went the pump fake, brought his feet up into the air, and they whistled Elijah Halias for the foul. Now the Bucks turn it over. Wide open, the transition look. Isaiah got back just enough to contest, but they get it up and in. Gabriel Chacon. 6-2. Isaiah past the timeline. Here's Day. Day to the corner for Clegg. Clegg back up top is Tay. They had about 4 bodies on this wing closing out towards Clegg Folks as he swung it back up top. We got it off to the right wing, but they'll say Tay took a step with the basketball and a step too many. 6-2. Anthony driving. Works it back up top. Inside out, they'll lob it to the key, and the pass to the wing, tipped by Alpine. Now they send it inside. High-rise shot there, sits on the rim, won't fall, and a strong rebound for Nathan Ariazola. His putback off the mark. Another offensive rebound. That one's off the mark. Ariazola tips it back outside, and Anthony works it to the wing. Their 3-ball, too strong. Alpine with the rebound coming up the floor. Here's Day swinging it to Isaiah. His corner pump fake. He'll lob it inside. Kelton turnaround look. And a rebound by Nathan Ariazola, the big man. At the 4:28 mark, Bucks on a little bit of a drought. Anthony just 2 points in the ball game in the first 4 minutes. 6-2 our score. As they give it to Ariazola, he wraps around. The pass to the other side of the post, goes long and finds another Wildcat on the wing. Bucks get the ball back, give it to Day, and Day an easy transition. Look, makes it 8-2. We're live on the radio, 98.7 FM, and on YouTube today as Anthony struggles at the timeline. A trap there. They lob it up the floor and back behind the timeline, untouched by everybody as it makes its way to the stands and out for an Alpine basketball. A couple of subs coming in as well. We've got Alec Ramos, Elijah Brito, Connor checks in as well. Day and Tay back and forth as they swing it to Alec now. Alex skips to Tay. Tay pump fake, drives, mid-range shot off the mark. Connor tips the rebound into the hands of Nathan. Anthony up the floor into this high-pressure Alpine defense. They'll lob it through a couple of hands. Down low, the postman misses the shot, misses the putback, and the Bucks have the rebound. Coming back up is Alpine with his 8-2 lead at the 3-minute mark. Day going up and under off the backside of the basket. And a nice rebound for Elijah Halias. He was one that we talked about last time. He's definitely an athlete on the inside, just a little bit out of control with the finishing. As Day gets the wraparound steal, Connor back up the floor to Day. And he has to stop himself under the bucket. Power dribble to get up and under for the 10-2 Alpine lead. We'll send to a quick commercial break. 2:55 to go in the first quarter. 10-2 Alpine on top.
Stephanie from Dr. Seuss. I got a note, he's got a car, he's got a boat, and if we have time, can we give him a quote?
Of course we can, Renee, and we can do it today. And if he likes, a policy for his bikes or his home. Does he live in a dome? We can cover his travels if he likes to roam.
Well, we'll cover it all. I'll give him a call.
If it's insurance you need, call Tally Reed, 837-3459. You'll be fine here in Alpine.
At your local McCoy's, they make purchasing materials for your do-it-yourself or large construction project as easy as possible. You choose between buying online or in the store, either picking it up in the store or having it delivered to the job site. At McCoy's, they know your time is valuable, and their pros will make sure that your materials arrive at your home.
Here's Anthony up the floor. Bucks almost get a takeaway as they send it back up top. A few subs on the floor. Almost everybody with frosted tips. We'll say 3 out of 5 guys got frosted tips for Anthony right now. And it could be 4 as they'll work it back and forth on the wing. 3-ball, airballed, and Connor has the rebound. Connor up the floor. Here's Thaddeus. 3-on-3 action. Thaddeus straight to the cup. A whistle and a charge on Prieto. That was the sub, number 21, Justin, who set his feet on the inside. We'll lose one of our Wildcat with frosted tips. So just 2 on the floor as the sub comes in. Inside, the big man going up strong, too strong. No, a whistle and a foul against Elijah Brito as Elijah Halias goes strong to the basket. He's that big man, number 33, that's just a little bit out of control at times, but again, an athlete on the inside, somebody you can outlet the ball to. And if he attacks the rim and draws a foul like that, he'll, he can do so often. Elijah, though, shooting the free throw. Makes the first. He's casual in the free throw motion, too. No kind of bounce or rhythm to it, as you'll see. Goes really heavy with the arms as he goes 2 of 2. Ten to 4, Bucks on top. Again, our softball and baseball games back in Alpine were canceled due to the weather, as Day has it at the timeline. Driving, kicks to Elijah. Elijah skip past to the corner. Another swing to Connor. He'll try the 3 off the glass, no good. And Elijah has the rebound. That's Elijah Halias, not Elijah Brito. We got 2 Elijahs on the floor. 2 minutes to go. Here's Alias sending it to a cutting guard through his hands and out on the baseline. That was a sub with the cut, Justin, who wasn't able to take the pass on a nice look. Dominic Rodriguez checking in as well. Right now, the lineup on the floor: Dominic Rodriguez, Thaddeus Prieto, Isaiah Jimenez, Alec Ramos, and Elijah Brito. Early on in the first quarter, Bucks going deeper into the bench than really anybody else has in district play. Maybe at times we'll see Kermit go pretty deep as Elijah gets it. Fade away, look off the glass, won't go. Still a nice, controlled, tough shot for Elijah. As Anthony has the ball. Here's Justin up top. Trying to look for an outlet. Bucks allowing no space, really active with fresh legs on the defensive side. They'll airball a ball behind the backboard. It was Thaddeus who was trying to save that into a buck, but taken away there by Elijah Hollius, who puts it up and in from the inside, 10-6. Now we get it in. Up the floor, it's Thaddeus on the wing now. Double team there, works up top to Isaiah. Isaiah to Alec. Alec driving. Drawing a lot of contact and drawing a foul on the floor. Alpine has committed 3 in the first quarter. That's the second by Anthony at the 51-second mark, 10-6. Bucks get the lead after the Lady Bucks took a dominant performance a moment ago. Every single Alpine Lady Buck basketball player who is dressed out scored today. Inbound to Isaiah Jimenez. A change and Tay comes in as Alec backs in, puts a strong one up off the bucket. It rolled around, rolled off the right side, it tipped off the backboard, rolled off the left side, went around the front curve of the rim, then wanted to fall there and didn't. As the Bucks lead 10-6, wide open on the inbound is Alec Ramos for a 6-footer. 37 seconds to go. Here's Anthony in white and red at the timeline with the Bucks in purple and gold. A whistle and a foul against Alpine. That's on the floor, the 4th team foul. So the next would put the Wildcats in the bonus. Matt Guerrero looking to inbound. Wearing number 1, his inbound pass tipped by Isaiah Jimenez in 0 as he gets a wide open lay off the takeaway on the inbound look. 14-6, Bucks on top. Here's Anthony with 20 seconds now. A drive, a whistle, a foul, and a made shot for Matt Guerrero. Met Elijah big in the low post. Guerrero with a 6-point deficit after the made shot can make it 5 at the line. Kelton checks in as well as Clegg. We have the starting lineup on the floor with Day coming in. 14-6, the free throw off the mark. Kelton rises up and takes down the board. We've got a whistle. I think there's an issue at the scores table. So the Bucks will keep the basketball with 14 seconds and a 6-point lead. Tay sends it in to Day. Back to Tay. Day, a lot of pressure in his face. Here's Day at the 6-second mark. Runner and gets it to Kelton, who puts it up and in. That was that little lob to the back post. Now Day, a takeaway. Trying to force it up real quick at the buzzer and not able to get the shot up. It'll be an 8-point Buck lead. Almost a 10-point Buck lead after that takeaway. But we're headed to the second quarter. 16-8, Alpine on top.
Alpine Community Credit Union wants to thank Alpine and its residents for making Alpine such a terrific place to live by supporting its customers with the best professional and friendliest service in town. Federally insured, they can help you with loans, businesses, savings, or any banking need that you might have. Experience our beautiful clean lobby and that down-home professional small-town courtesy that you can only expect from, well, a small town. Alpine Community Credit Union.
Has joint pain been slowing you down, maybe for years? If you've participated in general orthopedic care, but it's finally time for a new knee or hip, Big Bend Regional Medical Center now offers total joint replacement procedures right here in Alpine. Board-certified orthopedic surgeon Dr. Daniel Vandaloon is pleased to partner with the hospital so patients can go through both surgery and rehabilitation while remaining close to home. For more information on the joint replacement program, visit us at bigbendhealth.com.
Anthony with the inbound to start the second quarter. It's through the hands of the big Nathan Ariazola in the corner. Out for an Alpine basketball. Who can take a double-digit lead with the basket on this possession? Isaiah Jimenez across to Tay. Tay to Day. Day to cutting Kelton off of his heel as Clegg picks it up. Now swinging around. Kelton in the corner driving baseline. Goes up doubled as he gets to the left side of the lane. Skip pass now to Isaiah. Isaiah finding an outlet. It's Day who dumps off for Kelton, but Day is fouled. They'll give it a non-shooting foul. The first of the second quarter. Hardwick in, Kelton, the mid-range jumper off of the inbound won't go. Tay, a reverse look on a putback opportunity after the offensive rebound by Clegg. That's off the mark, and Anthony has the rebound, taking their time up the floor. Here's Nelson Savalos. Starting point guard. Not the starting lineup on the floor for Anthony. It is for Alpine as Kelton gets the tip up at the key. He hands off to Isaiah. Back to Kelton. Kelton tries the dunk in transition, and that won't go through. 16-8. Still, Alpine with a couple of good looks thus far. They'll drive inside, send it across the lane. That pass tipped around. Day comes away with it. But they'll get Alpine for a foul, and Anthony will keep the basketball at that end of the floor. I guess Alpine Ladybug basketball is headed back. 4-hour drive. They'll still probably get home around, around midnight. No, more like 11. As that inbound pass is tipped on the side. I'm wondering what they're going to eat. My pick is hibachi fried rice. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't know if it'll be open by the time we're done here. Here's Anthony with the basketball. They get it inside, too strong off the rim, and Isaiah has the rebound. Looking up the floor, 4-on-3. They lob it inside, strong for Kelton. Isaiah saves it back into Tay up top. Now Clegg, a swing pass to Day in the corner. Again, 16-8 Alpine. Tay, Isaiah. Day in the lane. His fadeaway look from 7 feet won't go, and it's Anthony basketball after the rebound. Alpine really quick to get back in their half-court defense after the defensive rebound by Anthony. Not a lot of pressure on the ball after they get possession as they'll drive inside. No good on the lay. Nathan Ariazola has the rebound and is fouled. Trying to put it back up and in. He'll shoot 2. I was really hyping this kid up last time around. Haven't seen much of Nathan today, but when he played in Alpine in that 10-point Alpine win, I thought Nathan was kind of a key to Anthony sticking close in that game for a long time. He made the first free throw, 16-9. 2 of 2. Both the bigs for Anthony have gone 2 of 2 at the free throw line. They only have one of them up on the scoreboard. Bucks in transition. Lob it underneath for Alec. Alec sending it to the coaching staff on the Anthony bench. Alec, one of those Fighting Buck baseball players who will, of course, be with the team soon. As Anthony sends it inside, Nathan Ariazola loses his footing and is called for a travel. Really just tripped with the ball, tripped over his own feet. It's the right call, though. Sometimes that's a hard call to make for an official. You see a guy just trip, and you want to say he was tripped, but again, Nathan wasn't tripped by any Alpine players. We'll swing it to Kelton. Kelton, the corner three. Good. Nice touch basket. It sat on top of the rim for a moment and fell after rattling around 19 to 10. Kelton stretches the floor with the three ball. We've got a number of guys who can shoot the three. Don't really have to rely on it with the slashing Day Hardwick and the size of Kelton and other scores on the inside as Anthony works the ball around. At the 5:18 mark, they send it out into the wing. A takeaway for Tay. 3-on-3, no, a 4-on-3 for Alpine. Tay slows things down at the nail and finds a cutting Day to give the Bucks an 11-point lead. It's a nice little transition. Instead, Anthony still had three players back. But again, Tay reading the defensive look, drawing a little bit of pressure as he brought the ball up the floor, and there was just enough space to allow a really athletic finishing Day Hardwick a wide open look. It'll be 2 free throws now for Anthony and Elijah Halias. Went 2 of 2 earlier. Again, he shoots it with his arms as he makes or misses the first. You want to see it kind of a bounce in your knees where you can be consistent with it. Your arms will get tired, can get off of a rhythm where that bounce in your knees never kind of loses the rhythm as Halias, the second, took a friendly roll, but a lane violation against Anthony will take the basket away, 21 to 10. Day, triple team, worked it to the corner for Alex. Skip pass to Kelton. Kelton going to the nail. He's doubled there. The Bucks right now drawing a lot of pressure, swinging the basketball around. As that goes long, Alex sends the rebound off of Anthony. And the Bucks will keep the basketball. I like that whole offensive possession for Alpine. Every single player was either double or triple teamed after moving the basketball, sensed that, and worked it to the other side of the floor. Inbound, Tay from three, just short. Right on line, though, as we'll tie up for the basketball. It's Thaddeus Prieto battling on the floor with Gabriel Chacon. A jump ball, and Alpine will keep the ball up 11, 21 to 10 at the 4:36 mark. Alpine's committed 2 team fouls this quarter. Anthony 1. Starting lineup minus Clegg on the floor right now with Alec Ramos. Here's Isaiah. Off to Day. Back to Isaiah Jimenez. Lobbing it inside. Kelton right under the basket. That pass went right into the net where Kelton had a wide open look after catching the pass, putting it up and in. With Kelton standing right under the basket, the net is kind of the best opportunity and best spot with his size. It's 23-10. Nathan Ariozola driving, one arm off the glass, no good. Elijah has the rebound for Anthony. He's fouled on the floor. Third foul committed by the Bucks. Who again have one more district game this Friday against Kermit at home. Need to win that game to secure the second seed in the district as Kelton has the rebound on the missed shot on an interior look for Elijah off the inbound. Day has to run baseline to keep that one in bounds. We'll work it back inside to Isaiah. Up top now is Tate. Time and space to shoot the three ball, and he gets it to go. 26 to 10. Bucks with a 16-point lead. Let's keep the gas on them. Bucks trying to build momentum. A drive and a block by Kelton. No, a foul. It'll be 2 free throws for their point guard, Matt Guerrero. I don't know if he's a point guard. He's more of a two guard. Nelson Savalos has played the point. Free throw off the heel. No good for Matt. Matt. Second stroke, again strong. Went strong on both of them. An offensive rebound as that tipped off the heel. The Bucks the takeaway, though, on a forced pass back up top. It was Tay with the steal. Tay lobbing up for Day, and another takeaway this time by Anthony as they rise up looking like a DB with the takeaway. They work it around now, almost a wraparound steal by Day as they'll drive inside, and a nice finish from Matt Guerrero, who went 0 for 2 at the line a moment ago. If you remember back in football season, as we lob it up the floor for Alec, looked like a tight end with the one-arm grab as he hands off to Day. Day slashing, too strong off the backboard. I'm hot on the football references right now, but if you remember back to football season, Anthony in the first half against Alpine, the second time we played him back in Alpine, had 6 drives and threw 6 interceptions. Every single drive in the first half, the second time around when we played him, ended in an interception, which, it's very possible that's a record. I've never heard of or seen anything like it. Here's Isaiah up to Tay. Sings it to Dominic Rodriguez. Swing pass to Isaiah in the corner. He's doubled there. Skip back to Dominic in the other corner. He runs through a bump and gives it back up top for Tay at the 2:25 mark. 26-12. Elijah trying to find it, cutting Isaiah. That's taken away by Anthony. Anthony running up the floor, and Elijah has the steal this time. We'll lose into the corner, into the hands of Isaiah. Isaiah driving baseline, trying to hand off to a cutting Ramos, and it's through into the hands of the Wildcats. Wildcats trying to hand off, almost a takeaway from Isaiah. Man, this is looking like last couple minutes is looking like week 1, the first game of Alpine Ladybug basketball in district play against Kermit. Just back and forth windshield wiper basketball, turnovers on either end. Again, it's 26-12. Alpine Fighting Bucks on top. That's the 5th foul. It was on the floor, but with 2 minutes left in the second quarter, Anthony in the bonus. This is Nelson Savala shooting 2. Nelson goes 0 for 2. Another offensive rebound. They hand it off to Elijah. His fadeaway look won't go, and a long-armed rebound by Day. He sends it up the floor. Dominic trying to find a cutting Alec. Works up top to Day. Day going through the lane. Punches through some contact off the front side of the rim. And a rebound for Elijah Hollias of Anthony. Elijah Brito getting good minutes today as well. The drive, that's tipped out of the hands of their point guard. Alec gets it, sends it up the floor, and Tay, a nice finish in transition. Just beat the undersized guard to the basket and finished with the right hand on the opposite side of where Tay was. 28-12. They'll get Alec for a foul in the post. And again, in the bonus is Anthony. They'll shoot 2 more, trailing by 16. Elijah misses the first on the left side. Anthony started off hot from the free throw line and has cooled off as of late. As they go 0 for 2, and that tips back out top to Dominic Rodriguez. Day driving, finds Clegg. Clegg high off the backboard and in. Day drawing a lot of attention as he entered the lane and found a wide open Clegg on the far side. 30-12. Here's Anthony swinging the ball at the 45-second mark. Bucks tie it up. Interior pass tipped around. Dominic has it. Up the floor to Tay. Should be a basket for Tay Hardwick, who gets up and under. A 20-point Buck lead. This is more like it, folks. Again, we need to bring the energy in that game against Kermit on Friday. Bucks need it and are bringing the energy here today. Another takeaway, Dom Rodriguez. Back-to-back steals. He's up in transition, slowing things down and getting a finish at the bucket. Really nice look by Dom. 14 seconds to go. Anthony just trying to not turn it over. They drive inside, and they'll lose the ball on the baseline at the 7-second mark. Couple of subs coming in for the Wildcats. Bucks trying to add insult to injury here in the first half. Elijah inbounds to Day. Clock runs now. 5 seconds. Day jumping through the lane. He'll draw a foul on the floor with 3.5 to go. Again, that's just the second team foul against Anthony. Bucks nowhere near the bonus, looking for an inbound play at the 3.5-second mark. This is one of those opportunities before the playoffs where you're thinking, okay, this is a playoff situation. We're tied with 3 seconds to go in a playoff game. What are we going to run here? They get it into Tay on the wing. No, that pass batted out on the side, and they'll run 0.7 seconds off the clock. Now 2.8 to go. Tay inbounding. They're lined up. They find Day. Day fadeaway look from the wing. Won't go. Elijah had the rebound right at the buzzer. We'll head into the halftime break. 34-12. Bucks come out hot here in Anthony.
Lowe's Market traces its history to E.M. Bud Lowe, who sold candy and sundries from the back of his truck in Littlefield, Texas in the 1940s. In 1964, Bob opened the first Lowe's Market, a small grocery store in Olton, Texas. Since then, Lowe's has expanded into small and medium-sized towns and cities throughout Texas and New Mexico. When Lowe's makes an investment in a community, they also make a commitment to serve the community with the highest quality and selection, along with fair pricing. Lowe's, your family grocery store.
SOS has many meanings, but it means big savings this month at Morrison's True Value Hardware store. As a February bargain of the month, Morrison's has their big 18-count box of SOS steel wool soap pads at just $3.79. If you'll be needing a new hose nozzle, grab one that's built to last. A Green Thumb all-brass 4-inch nozzle with adjustable spray. It's sale priced at just $5.99 at your C.G. Morrison family of stores.
Do you need better internet in West Texas? Mountain Zone TV delivers reliable wireless broadband with no credit checks and no contracts. Whether you're streaming, working from home, or running a local business, Mountain Zone TV is built for rural living. Proudly serving Fort Davis, Marathon, Marfa, and Presidio with fast, dependable local service. Mountain Zone TV, connecting West Texas. Call them up at 432-837-2300.
Again, Bucks will be back out here in a moment. It's 34-12 at the halftime break. Shout out to Ethan Baller, 6 up the stream, and a dominant performance thus far. Coming out of this halftime break, about a minute 12 before we start the second half. Bucks really have some momentum, which is good news. Something we needed as of late. I think that Presidio game could have beaten some teams and beaten them maybe the week after that. But Bucks seem resilient and a nice bounce back after Presidio. It'll be Anthony basketball in white to start the second half, 34-12. Bucks starting lineup on the floor as well as Anthony's. Only one player with frosted tips in the Anthony starting lineup. They lob it up, and it's Kelton right on the line with the takeaway. Gives it to Day. Day moving inside, works it to Isaiah Jimenez in the corner. Spot up three, good for the Bucks, who didn't take any shots after the halftime break, but hit the three from the corner and transition after not touching a basketball for about 15 minutes. Here's the Wildcats. They lob it up. Back up top to their point guard, Nelson Savalos. Now baseline drive for Anthony. They go up, miss the lay, and Kelton has the rebound. Couple of good looks for Kelton. He gives it up to Isaiah. Isaiah inside to Clegg. Clegg saves it in also off of Savalos. That pass kind of pulled Clegg to the baseline. He was off balance there and dove after it, sent it back in off of the point guard. Bucks swinging it. Now inside is Tay. Tay, Isaiah, and Day all on the left side. They'll work it up to Day. Day swings to Kelton. Kelton the three from the wing off the mark, and Nathan Ariozola has the rebound for Anthony 1 minute into the third quarter. Again, Bucks need to win today and win at home against Kermit on Friday to secure the second seed in the district. Presidio has already taken the district title outright. As Anthony loses the ball up the floor on a pass to the wing. It's the Bucks on an inbound. Day up to Isaiah. Back to Day. Back to Isaiah. Now back to Day up top. Here's Tay. Spot up three from the left wing. Won't go. The rebound tipped around, and Day has it. Day driving. Splits up Nathan Ariozola and goes up and in to make it 39-12. Here's a drive from Anthony. They go up, won't go on the shot. The rebound chased down on the wing into the storage closet. And it'll be Buck basketball after extending a 22-point halftime lead by 7. They send it inside, and it's a takeaway. Anthony up the floor, driving. Pump fake, gets everybody up in the air, and a nice little lay for the undersized guard, Matt Guerrero. I keep wanting to say Guerrero, but it looks like it's just Guerrero, Guerro, as Anthony has a takeaway. 2 minutes into the second half. Anthony sends it baseline, now swings it around. That pass back to the key, tipped by Day. They'll drive after the Bucks chased after the ball, lay it off for a big man who goes off the glass too strong. Anthony has the rebound up top again. They give it to a guard. He slashes inside, up and under behind Clegg, but the shot off the mark as we get it up to Isaiah. Isaiah driving. Man. He just had an extra step and really attacked the basket on the big man. Here's Anthony sending inside. Nathan Ariozola blocked but fouled. It'll be 2 free throws for the big man. Arizola makes the first. Brito and Ramos check in. At the 5:12 mark in the third quarter. The second free throw now for Nathan, who hit the first. Nice touch for the big man, 2 for 2. 41-16, Bucks on top. Here's Jimenez. Sends it to Day. Day, no look pass across the lane for Alec. Alec off the glass, no good. And a whistle and a foul on the rebound by Alec. Nice find and outlet pass by Day. Wildcats now. Back and forth on the right side. They'll send to a big man. He's put a power dribble down. Trying to look for a cutting guard underneath. There really wasn't anything there, and it'll be Buck basketball. That was David A. I don't have his last name, but didn't see a lot of minutes in the first half. Getting some reps right now as there's a takeaway. The point guard up at the timeline takes it out of the hands of Isaiah Jimenez. He misses the lay in transition. The put back off the mark for Anthony. Now Day has the rebound. Up the floor to Tay. Tay going up to the basket on the wing and gets it to go. 43-16. Halfway through the third quarter. They'll lob it baseline. Now trying to outlook to David in the middle. It trickles out on the outside to another Anthony guard. He lobs it a skip pass across the floor. Now a drive, and the pass to the nail is right into the hands of Day Hardwick. Day taking his time up the floor as he gets it to go. You know, some people, I would put myself included, you get a steal up at the key, and I'm running up the floor 90-0, trying to get an open look. But Day confident, even with a little bit of contact, even with a little bit of a contested shot, is there's a missed shot by Anthony. Tay with the rebound. Tay outlets to Elijah. Reverse look too strong. Bucks lead by 29. As Anthony takes it and works it to the wing, there's a double team there, diving through the double team and giving it up top to a guard. He hands off to David. David, runner past Elijah, off the mark, and Day with the rebound as he steps on. No, it's a foul against, I think it's against Alpine. No, it's against Anthony. And substitutes coming off. It looks like we've got a timeout on the floor as well at the 3:22 mark. 45-16, Bucks on top.
Skinner's Drilling and Well Service offers everything you need when it comes to solar well pump system installation and maintenance. Whether you're looking to cut electricity costs or need solar power in an area where electricity is not readily available, Skinner's Drilling and Well Service has some solar options that you'll want to consider. By the way, these systems are upgradable over time. Call Skinner's Drilling and Well Service LLC at 837-2497, Texas license number 2838A1.
Yep, Buck basketball after the Anthony foul. 45-16. Here's Thaddeus. Thaddeus, Dominic Rodriguez, Alec Ramos, Elijah Brito, and Day Hardwick on the floor. Dominic had a good stretch of a few minutes earlier. Here's a three from the wing for Dominic, and he's having a good game today as he hits the three. 48-16. Here's Anthony. Skip pass to the wing. Drive. They'll send it inside for Elijah, and he's fouled. Hollius shooting two. Elijah hits the first. Yeah, shout out again to Ethan Baller, 62538. Big Ben Radio shout out in the chat over on YouTube. It's 48-18 after Elijah goes 1 of 2 from the stripe. Bucks up by 30. Maybe he went 2 of 2. I think he made them both. 48-18. Here's Thaddeus. Outlets to Alec. Now up top is Dominic Rodriguez. Thaddeus driving baseline. Floater good. Man, Thaddeus Prieto, Dominic Rodriguez. Two guards who we've been seeing get a substantial amount of minutes all year, but they're playing their best basketball right now. 50-18. That's how things work. You give guys minutes early on, and it pays dividends at the tail end of the season when they're getting minutes in big spots. It'll be exciting to see him in the Bi-District Championship round as they lob it inside. Gabriel Chacon off the glass and in. I could say the same of Elijah, too. Elijah's looked substantial. Here's Alec Ramos, spot up 3 from the wing. Won't go, and a rebound inside by Elijah for Anthony as we're whistled for a foul coming against Dominic. All right, Ethan, if you want another shout-out, you got to gift a Galaxy. I'm kidding. I don't think you can do that here. Here's 1:42 to go in the third quarter. Bucks up by 30. Anthony with the basketball. They take it up the floor. Lob it inside. Nathan Ariozola going up. Flicks it off the backboard. No good. Offensive rebound by Elijah Hollius, who puts it back up and in. He's had a decent day today. I mean, not necessarily a super efficient day for a post player, but still decent as Isaiah drives and draws a foul. It was on the floor. That's the first foul that the second foul Anthony's committed here in the third quarter. Clegg Folks checks in for Elijah Brito. We'll give it inside. Kelton. Man, you give Kelton an inch of space on an inbound look, and he can just pop it right back up to the basket from 5, 6, 7 feet, and that looks like our intention most of the time on those inbound plays. As Anthony's pass on the baseline finds its way through and out on the baseline. It's Buck basketball, up 30 with 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Isaiah on the wing. Connor swings it. Now Kelton to Isaiah. Back to Kelton. In the corner now is Dominic. Dominic finds a cutting Kelton, who puts it up and in. He continues, man. Dominic Rodriguez might be my sneaky player of the game today. Here's Anthony. Sends it across. That pass tipped by Dominic. It's Isaiah coming up the floor now. Slows it down into a half-court set with a 32-point lead. They'll swing it back to Isaiah. His 3 off the mark. This one's already over at the 22nd mark in the third quarter. A 32-point lead. I don't think there's a world where Anthony can come back. Anthony driving. They work it out onto the wing. Try and send an interior pass. It's Kelton Tarrant rising up and batting it towards the storage room with 7 seconds to go. Coach calling for ball pressure from the bench. Bucks tip it a few times. Back in the hands of Anthony. Now Nathan Rizzola goes with the reverse look right at the buzzer. Shot won't go, and we'll be back after the intermission between the third and fourth quarter. 54-22. Bucks need this win and need a win against Kermit on Friday to secure a second-place district finish before on down a playoff run. Had that ball game, or I guess a tournament, an early season tournament up in Lubbock, the Caprock tournament, where they won their bracket, taking down a 1A high school who's right now ranked the number 2 1A high school in the state of Texas in text line in the finals, which is no joke, man. You get into the top 10, it's 1A, 2A, 3A, and you're getting into some really solid programs. I bet text line is here, at number 2 at the 1A level. I bet they'd be top 10 at 2A. I bet they'd be top 10 at 3A. And the Bucks were able to take them down, again, in the finals of that Cap Rock tournament. With some momentum right now, up 32 against the team they beat by 10 back in Alpine a few weeks ago. Just working around the outside, patient right now. Isaiah doubled over on the wing, trying to find an outlet as they rip it out of his hands. He's asking for some contact. Would definitely have gotten one, I think, in another situation. But in the fourth quarter at the 7:30 mark, up by 32, they'll hold the whistle. Here's Anthony bruising their way inside. Shot won't go, and Isaiah has the rebound. No, it's Kelton who had the rebound. We give it up the floor. Now Tay, transition 3 off the front side of the rim. Clegg with the monster board, really strong. His arm outreached right into the breadbasket of an Anthony player as he was able to rip it away. Elijah chases after the ball on the floor after the missed shot for Anthony, and he has it on the floor. Outlets to an Anthony guard. Anthony brings it past the timeline, trying to work against this Alpine pressure. They give it inside to Nathan. Nathan Ariozola swings it. Guard runs to the nail and hits a runner. That's Nelson Savalos, their point guard. Isaiah up the floor, has Tay underneath. Tay, spinning shot, blocked inside, and the rebound goes out to Isaiah. Isaiah on the sideline, floats it back up to the key for Tay. Tay splitting a double team, drives inside, a whistle and a foul on the floor. It's the first of the fourth quarter as the Bucks lead by 30 at the 6:31 mark in the fourth. Connor checking out. Isaiah Jimenez, Tay Hardwick, Kelton Tarrant, and Clegg Folks on the floor. That's the starting lineup as they inbound to Kelton, and Kelton tied up and fouled. Nelson taking my advice over here. Can't hear me, but that's what I said. You really just need to get up in Kelton's grill on the inbound plays because they're finding Kelton, and he's putting up a quick shot. Again, 2 free throws for the 6'4" senior. First is too strong, no good. Kelton 0 for 2 at the line. Rebound, batted around, and Clegg chases it towards the three-point line. He hands off to Kelton, who gets inside and gets his 2 points after missing a couple of free throws. It's 56-24. Bucks force a steal. Clegg outlets. It's a 4-on-2. Isaiah gets to Tay. Tay attacking the rim, trying to get that half-court dunk over their big man inside. They missed the dunk, and now Anthony coming back up the floor. I've been looking for one of those half-court dunks. A transition dunk is one thing. Ooh, as their guard had it on the baseline and his pivot foot went deep into the red on the baseline. Justin steps out of bounds. It's 56-24. Day driving inside, muscling his way with a big Nathan Ariozola on his back. As he draws a foul, it'll be 2 free throws for the older Hardwick, a senior. Yeah. A transition dunk is one thing, and Bucks have plenty of those. Half-court dunk with some defense in the post, that is another thing. That'll get me up on my feet. So Ross had a couple of them a few weeks ago in a win against Texas A&M International. And the Gallego Center lost its collective mind as Day goes 2 of 2 at the line. It's 58-24. Drive, hard off the glass, no good. Kelton has the rebound, gives it to Tay. Tay, a 4-on-2 right now as he spins around and is fouled as the guard, Justin, tries to pick his pocket. Anthony has committed 4 team fouls in the fourth quarter. Bucks haven't committed any. Here's Tay, giving it inside to Clegg. Clegg rises up, shot off the mark. Kelton the rebound, put back won't go. Now a tip in by Tay. Left-handed tip in underneath. That was nice. Bucks applying heavy pressure out in the full court press. Bat the inbound pass back on the baseline. Anthony can't handle the pressure of the press and lose it on the sideline. Really not super forced, just losing it. It's Tay now. Up top to Kelton. Here's Isaiah. Driving, gives it to the corner for Day. He pump fakes there. Man, fighting through a lot of contact as Anthony gets the takeaway. Running up the floor in transition. Savalos, a spin around move to get space in the lane, and he puts the shot up and in. 60-26, Alpine Fighting Buck basketball on top with 4:42 to go. Will lob it, trying to get the alley-oop just behind a cut in Kelton, and he puts it over the rim as the Bucks fight for the rebound. It's Clegg to Isaiah, and Isaiah with the right-handed finish. 62, Bucks back in the full court press. You know, the full court press is going to add points to the board as they lob it up the floor right into the hands of Kelton. Here's Day now driving. Day fouled, and he'll shoot 2 free throws. 62-26. With 4:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Day's first. Off on the left side. Day makes the second. Here's Anthony up the floor, breaking the press. They lob it baseline, and Tay tips it away there. How about that first half defensively? Bucks only allowed 12 points in the first half. Anthony inside. They back in. Fadeaway look from the substitute big man, David A. It's off the mark. Bucks lob it up in transition. Tay attacks the basket and puts it up and in. 65-26. 39 points the Bucks lead. Anthony trying to give it baseline, and another takeaway. No, it's batted around, but now they'll lose it after they had possession again into the hands of Tay. Isaiah back up top is Devontae. Coach calling for Lobo, former Slow Rock State Lobo himself. They swing it. It's Isaiah, catch and shoot the 3. Anthony driving baseline on the left side, back up top to the key. Here's Savalos from 3. That's good. Nelson Savalos has looked pretty good today. Taking care of the basketball, scoring some points at times as Kelton has a baseline drive and a floater up and in. 2:38 to go. And there's going to be a mass substitution, 5 off, 5 in for Alpine. I'm not sure what the whistle was for. Anthony inside. Nathan Ariazola squeaks in behind to get the basket. Here's Connor. Skip pass to Alec. Back up top is Thaddeus. They work it to Dominic Rodriguez. Now Elijah Brito steps on the sideline as he gets it in the corner. .212 to go. You guys see the JV boys are all ducking under the camera. They don't have to do that. Not a lot going on at this point. Here's Nathan Ariazola sending it down low. The ball batted around. Alec had a foot on the sideline as it was tapped in his direction. Gabriel Chacon gives it up top to his point guard through his hands, and he touches it behind the halfway line. Backcourt violation, and the Bucks will have the ball again. Trying to win by 40. Here's Thaddeus. Swings to Dominic. Now Alec in the corner. Elijah Brito backing in strong against Nathan Ariazola. Nathan gets the block, and they lob it up the floor. Point guard with the ball. Man, a spinning shot up off the glass and in for Nelson Savalos. I'm a fan of Nelson today. Nelson now with the steal on the other side of the floor. They give it to Nathan. Nathan swings to Nelson. Nelson, the hot hand, tries the three ball. That's no good. Nathan, no rebound and a putback. 70-35. Inbound pass taken away by Chacon. Chacon draws a foul and gets the reverse to go with 1:13 to go. I was a little behind on the scoreboard. Anthony on a little run since we changed it up. But again, we went deep into the lineup all day today and still built a big lead as that's a Buck basketball after the rebound is tipped out of bounds by Elijah. The Lady Bucks, they ran the clock the entire fourth quarter and still put together a big lead as Thaddeus is fouled at the timeline. They bumped him back for a backcourt violation, but they whistled the foul. That happened the other day in Anthony. No, it was in Tornillo with in a 1-point ball game, or maybe it was a 3-point ball game when that happened, where they pushed us back behind the timeline. They didn't call the foul and called the backcourt violation. That gave Tornillo a chance late down the stretch in a game that ended up being a 1-point Buck win. Again, that's how you call it 99% of the time. If you get pushed back behind that line, even if they're putting their chest right up into you and bumping you with a lot of contact, they're going to call that foul. It's 72-37. Anthony basketball as we get under the 1-minute mark. Driving on the right side. Alec Ramos had it in the corner. He saw that Nelson Savalos was halfway inbounds, halfway out of bounds, and Alec just dropped the ball into Nelson's chest. That was funny, man. I've seen a clip of that online at one of those 64 teams adult basketball tournaments. Alec tries the corner three, too strong. Rebound off of Anthony on the baseline at the 42nd mark. They give it up top to Alec. Alec to Thaddeus. Straight away the three. No good. In a battle for the rebound. Still physical. It was Dominic Rodriguez, Elijah Brito, and Elijah Halias all tying up. Jump ball, and Alpine will keep the basketball. Connor inbounds. It's through the hands of Thaddeus and out on the side. Bucks trying to pick them up at the timeline. Still applying pressure defense, still coaching moments as we get into the thick of the season. It's Elijah picking up as they lose the ball, lobs it up the floor, and Dominic Rodriguez is fouled under the basket. Dominic's going to be my player of the game. I think Kelton had a good game. Day had a good game. Tay had a good game. I think off the bench, and you could really give the bench the player of the game award, but Dominic and the bench really brought the heat today for Alpine and helped this solid win as we have 10 seconds to go. (73-37). They inbound to the corner. Baseline pass taken away by Alec Ramos. That will dribble out the final clock again. Dominic Rodriguez, the player of the game today. The bench brought great minutes for Alpine, and after a 10-point win at home, the Bucks really took Anthony behind the woodshed today. A good win for Alpine, and we'll bring that momentum into a big ball game this Friday at home against Kermit, where we try and solidify the second seed in the district. Again, Lady Bucks are back in action against Stanton in the bi-district championship round on Monday of next week. But that'll wrap things up today. From Anthony, Texas, we'll be back home after midnight. Thanks so much for listening.